Remember when common sense was common? When standing up for what is right was the right thing to do? Welcome to The Right Side. Common sense conversations about Hawaii's political landscape and how it affects you, your ohana, and your community. Join us for the next hour as we cut through the political noise and look at Hawaii from the right side.
The beautiful thing about this radio show is that as a city lawmaker, I get to interject in between what the state is doing, where we can come and talk about city issues and something that's near and dear to my heart. By the way, hi everybody, it's Augie. Hope you guys doing amazing. Malia Zimmerman is here with me, and in a couple of minutes she'll introduce our guest. But we're talking parks, which I'm excited about, because if you follow me or you know anything about me, if it wasn't for the parks, I probably would not be in front of this microphone, because it taught me a lot of great values. I grew up in Kalihi Valley. I went to Kalihi Valley Rec Center. I learned how to play baseball. I learned how to play basketball. I played football for a moment. And then I realized I wanted to get punched in the face. So I boxed, from the age of 12. And it taught me a lot of discipline. I think boxing and having the most amazing coach and the people around me that not only kept me safe, but, taught me great values. And boxing was, something that, helped me, stay out of trouble. And if it wasn't for, the Parks and Rec and having a boxing gym, again, I would not, be here talking with you. All across Oahu, residents and visitors use our city parks, including our beach parks, botanical gardens, sports complex, and community parks. These public spaces offer us a chance to play our favorite sport, such as, again, basketball, pickleball. Everybody loves pickleball.
Everybody's playing pickleball.
I know. Tennis, soccer, flag football, baseball, and more. Or, we go to the beach. So growing up, I spent many hours, because who wanted to go home? The rule was, when you see the street light, be home. And, the cool thing is, I lived right across the street from Kalihi Valley Rec Center, so it was easy for me to get home. And that's where, again, I learned how to swim, everything. I had a beautiful swimming pool there. And I remember one time we were competing in swimming. And again, this is public housing, kids in a swimming, part of the swim team. And Angie Kupal, who was the district manager for the pool, had all these local kids that, grew up in public housing, put on Speedos.
No.
That's what we said. We said, no. And she said, you going to compete? And she was so awesome. But she encouraged us, this is what you got to do if you're going to compete at the next level. And I was like, hey, but this is Beberies. This is Silky Beberies. Put on the Silky Beberies because you got to compete. And I remember, again, you had Samoan kids. You had all these kids, now with Speedos, and we didn't even know how to cover up ourselves. But it what it did for me as I was growing up, was it was another great lesson that, you not only live in this world, but there's an outside world. And we competed with the military. We competed with people out in Kailua and, out in Hawaii Kai. And you not only made friends, but you felt like, wow, this is pretty cool. So I'm excited about today. Malia, are you ready to introduce our guest?
I am. I just want to know, what was your stroke? What was your race?
I did everything.
Oh, yeah?
I did freestyle. I did breaststroke.
What about the butterfly?
I did butterfly.
Oh, that's a hard one.
The Palolo gym, I got disqualified for cheating. I thought they wouldn't catch me, because you got to do the butterfly. You gotta flip your arms, and then you gotta kind of, like
be like
Aquaman.
a dolphin.
Yeah,
kinda.
But you're not supposed to use your 2 feet, and I did that. And
Didn't
they
know
blew the
that.
whistle. Mr. Tulba, out. Okay. Oh, by the way, Malia Zimmerman is my communication director in my office at District 9. If you didn't know, I represent Ewa and Waipahu. So, fast forward, for 4 years, I was the chair of the parks And, I learned a lot, made lots of great friends. And, when I was asked to do the show, I was like, okay, I got to get the director in. And by the way, congratulations, director.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're back in.
Director Laura Thielen is in the house.
Yes. Are you ready to give her a big introduction?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
she got reconfirmed today,
Yes.
which is super exciting.
Thank you.
By the council. I believe everybody knows Laura Thielen because she was in the state senate. That's not on her bio, but everybody should know that.
Okay.
The Department of Land and Natural Resources. I mean, she's done a lot of things.
I have trouble holding a job.
She's done a lot of things for our community over the years, but currently she is the director of the City and County of Honolulu Department of Parks and Recreation, which is a huge job because there's over 300 parks, community gardens, botanical gardens, street trees. I mean, it's just an amazingly huge department to manage, and all those people. I don't know how she does it, but she does it, and she does it well. So we're excited to have her, and congratulations.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Denny, we all know Denny. He wears duck shirts to work every day, yellow ducky shirts. He obviously has a big heart, but anyway, Denny Higa is the Department of Park and Recreation's Adopt a Park coordinator, and he basically he's worked with our department, but supports communities taking ownership of parks to help them care for these spaces. He works with over 100 community groups who have adopted parks and helped steward the areas. So we've worked with you, Denny, in our office to clean up graffiti, to improve our parks, and got volunteers from Waipahu High School, and we have a long list of
Denny's
people.
done a lot of stuff with us out in District 9. Welcome, both of you guys.
Thank you.
All right. The number here, in case you want to talk parks today, you can.
Everybody wants to talk
Of
parks.
course. 808-913-6450. Again, 808-913-6450. Director, can you give us an overview of Parks Department and some examples of parks and the department managers?
So parks, everybody thinks of their local community park or their favorite park to go to, usually a beach park for a lot of people because, we're the main access to the ocean. But the city and county of Honolulu is, if you looked around the nation, we would be one of the top 10 largest parks in the nation because we're serving 1 million people. And we've got parks in 500 square miles, and they're all over the place. And
sometimes people get a hard time fathom that. Oh, but we live in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
And places like Texas, that's big places, but it's per capita.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we still need more parks, right?
Yes, we still need more parks, and we need more facilities and amenities in the parks we got. Because we have a lot of parks where, the city built a lot under Fosse, but as the economy kind of changed, it stopped building, the population moved out, Eva, Kapolei, other areas like that. They don't have the same kind of gyms and pools that urban Honolulu has. And so there's a real inequity.
Right.
You don't got the gym, you can't have the big summer fun program. So you don't have the summer fun program. You don't have the pool, you can't have the water aerobics for the kapuna. And so, your mom gets stiffer as she gets older and less mobility and stuff. So it really affects the programs. And so we want to be providing, recreation opportunities for everybody around Oahu. You got to fix what you have. That's already the old stuff, but we got to be fair to the people that move to the new areas too. So it's a lot of balancing, but this is where Adopt a Park comes in, and we're so grateful for Denny. Every group that works with him loves him. There are more places than we can take care of. And it's important that the community take ownership because then it signals to everybody else, this is our park. It's not the government's park. It's our park.
Right.
Nobody breaks their own toilet, but for some reason people will do vandalism at parks. And the more the communities can be out there and visible and taking ownership for places, the better cared for they are.
And one of the things that I really appreciate, the fact that you wanted to see equity.
Oh,
It's so important. I remember, maybe 2 years ago when you came in, you did the presentation, you talked about that's your goal, while you're in office. And can you kind of maybe share with, we have about 2 minutes and 44 seconds, but can you share maybe what the next 4 years going to look like? Is it more of that and trying to get balance on our island?
Yeah, more of that. We're just trying to figure out how we can get stuff done. That's what the mayor talks about, GSD. He uses a different S word, but, get stuff done.
Yeah, of course.
And sometimes you have to, wait a while to do the capital improvement, but what can a community group do? And we want to work with people. But we still want to work on equity. And part of equity is making sure we have facilities where they're missing. And part of equity is the programming. We have places in a lot of communities where the kids need help. And we have summer fun programs.
Yeah.
We have intercession programs. So we've been working with our recreation staff to work around leadership, health and wellness, sense of place, and redesigning our programs to be stronger to help the keiki when they're growing up, just to get on the right path and see what they can do in life and help promote them to be better. And so that's another form of equity that we're trying all around the island.
No, and that's what, like I shared with you in the beginning of the program and sharing my life. I mean, competing against other people across the island and then coming to Kalihi Valley, made a huge difference. So, I appreciate you doing that because it's so important that, we do have balance. And not only that, but like every kid on our island, get a taste of some of us don't ever go outside of Waianae. I know it took a while for me to get to Waimanalo when I was growing up in Kalihi or even out in Waianae, unless there's a party or something. And so, it's interesting how we live on an island and yet everything is about 20 minutes away. And we don't because of, maybe challenges economically, or, the little things that keeps us in just our area.
Yeah, people, you kind of stick in your area, what you're familiar with. But so we just want to be able to help more. We want to be able to work with the community. I mean, parks and the programming and recreation, there's so many great groups out there, so many athletic leagues, and this is the ticket for a lot of kids to get to school. There's, there's just so much opportunity out there, and we just want to invite people in to work with us because we all got to work together to make it happen.
That's right. Director Thielen from Parks and Rec is here, and Denny Higa. We'll talk about Adopt a Parks.
Shoot.
Because, I think a lot of people, now that I've been in public service for almost 4 years, there's a lot of people that want to get involved. Can you give us an idea of what that's going to take and what people need to do if they wanted to adopt a park?
Well, Adopt a Park, in its simplest, is a group or individual committing to a couple of years to provide stewardship at a park or parks if they're ambitious. And what it is they come in several times a year, preferably in quarters or equal amounts or apart. And they come in and pick up litter or do beautification, cover up graffiti. And parks staff will try and help support where we can, provide some supplies, rubbish bags, gloves, paint for graffiti, and make the park look beautiful. And so there are a lot of beautiful parks. We have great staff that work really hard. People might not think, but I go out there every day, and I see staff work so hard. And I see it when everyone's at work or stuff, and, it's heartwarming to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's not so much taking away or they need to do their stuff. I liken it to think like a family. We have multi-generational families in Hawaii. You get the young, you get the family in Kupuna. Every family goes through challenges. And so in Kupuna, sometimes someone gets sick or have a challenge, the rest of the family steps up and helps. And I liken to think the department and our parks are like that in the neighborhood. So that
good analogy.
You got new parks and new neighborhoods.
Yeah.
They're fresh, they're vibrant, young families. You got older parks and older neighborhoods having some challenges. Hey, we need help. The family needs help. That's how I liken it. So when someone comes up and says, why should I pay taxes? Why should I help the park? It says, because every family needs help. Every family needs help. So
take us through the process. So, people listening right now, and they're going, I have a small park in my neighborhood, and what's the steps for me to, adopt a park or get my church or my club, maybe, an after school program that, need the kids to do much more than, come there to do activities, but like maybe, teach them how to give back
yep.
So give us the process. What's the process?
Process is getting an idea of where you'd like to help provide stewardship or help your community, whether it's individual or group. Pick a spot or area, and if you're not sure, just come to me. Come to the parks. Ask, hey, I'd like to do something somewhere. Where can I go? Contact me. What area do you live in? Okay, we'll look at some parks. What would you like to do? Is it simple stuff? Pick up litter. Simple stuff is important. Do a little bit more. Maintenance, groundskeeping stuff, help them with raking and picking up things, graffiti removal. And based on what your comfort level and abilities and desire of how much you want to put in, we try to help support and engage that individual or group with site staff so that we can get support and introduce them to them as well and see what we can, what we need to look at in case it's a bigger project, and maybe things that might have to hold off until we figure out how we can do some big stuff that people might have really big ambitions for and want to do stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome, Mom. So tell me, like, if, there's already a group that's adopting a park, can another group come in? Can, maybe 2 or 3 different groups come in to adopt one park?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That is ideal because it's rare that a individual or group will adopt a park and provide stewardship on a consistent basis. There are a very small few that do 3+ days a week, every week for weeks. They've been doing it for a long time. Not a lot of people have that kind of ability, so overlaying of coverage or stewardship is ideal. So where one might do 1 month, another one can come in another month or a couple months later or a couple weeks later, so that there's always someone coming in to help. And like family, if they need to take a break, a bye-week, we're going vacation or something's happening in the family, we got to take a break. It doesn't stop because there's other groups there to help pick up. And sometimes we help have those groups all collaborate in one and make a bigger event so that all the groups can meet each other and work with each other, and they can do a bigger event when they do stuff like that. So we can help connect them as well.
And if you're just tuning in, we're talking parks today, city parks. And if you want to call in, the number here is 808-913-6450. Dirk, what has been the challenges, now that you've been there for 4 years and with adopting a park?
Well, when I came in, the department had shut down the Adopt a Park program. And the way they had run it before they shut it down was a group came in, and it's like, well, we got to talk to the lawyers, and we got to write this agreement, and you're 6 months, year later, is anything happening? So when COVID happened, they shut it down. Bland Giardi administration came in, and we wanted to make it possible for people to go back to the parks. So we reopened the program. We worked with the city lawyers, and we said, look, here's the things that most people want to do. They want to do cleaning, they want to do painting, they want to do graffiti removal, they want to do maybe some planting. So we kind of put together a standard agreement, had the lawyers bless it, and so now it's anybody comes in, they just kind of check the box. What do they want to do? So it's a simpler process. Denny, took us a little while to find Denny, but Denny's been kind of like the magic secret ingredient because he's really good. He goes out, he spends so much time meeting with people at the park, talking over what they want to do, talking with the local staff, making sure that everybody's got the connection and all of that. We got some groups that come in regularly, but Denny, he's being modest. He's also working with, probably 100 groups that maybe they don't want to come in as often as Adopt a Park. They want to kind of put their toe in the water. I want to go do one event.
Yeah.
I want to do a mural. My group, my kids getting their Eagle Scout badge. They want to do a project in a park. And so he'll work with the groups on a one-time basis, and then maybe they want to come back another time or something else. And So there's a lot of things that people like to do at the parks.
No, I appreciate that, having a checklist because, that way, you can bring in, as much people that, want to come out and help. And it's very simple too. We do it a lot, like Denny said, you can, maybe have a weekend where you just pick up rubbish around the park. We've done graffiti cleanups. We've done so much things that it's, and there's a lot of schools in the districts that kids gotta have certain credits. Maybe some of them, using that for college. They're always out there looking for things to do. So this is just another great way. Like you said, taking care of our family, giving back, and finding, ways to get involved. And I can tell you this: if you're having a crummy weekend, you wake up, you just crummy. Try go volunteer.
Well, and the other thing is, some of your listeners may be like, why should I go pick up garbage at a park? Going out there, when you have a community group out there, everybody who comes into that park, they look at that and they see, hey, these are my neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
My neighbors care about the park. This is our park. And everybody has a different feel about the park then. And the park staff have taught me there's a word called activate. If you can activate a park, there's less problems. So having community groups come out there, it's a big signal to everybody else this park is activated. Yeah. And it helps.
Yeah.
It helps so much. It's more than just picking up the garbage. It's a community saying we care about this place and we want our neighbors to care about it too.
I got to tell you, we've done that, tag your out graffiti thing.
Yeah.
We went out, right? We got almost 100 kids from Waipahu High School.
That's crazy.
And they came out, I don't know if the community noticed this, but as soon as the graffiti goes up, because we started really religiously, every time something goes up, we painted them out. Man, people now just kind of doing it on their own, kind of
awesome.
Yeah, because again, you activated the whole thing, and people going, man, this is much more than just a one-time thing. There's people that really care about the community. And it's pretty amazing when I go on social media. I go, look, if we're having a cleanup, if you guys want to come out, even on a weekday.
Yeah, it was weekday.
Yeah, that was the tag your out was really successful. If people don't know what that was, is you came up with this idea, let's go get all the graffiti out of our district. We couldn't touch certain things like electrical boxes,
right.
We found out, but everything else. And we had a whole lot of volunteers, Waipahu High School kids, and like you said, over 100. Then we went to Eva, Waipahu, and Denny was there, and we all coordinated it and went out there and painted. So it was a good day.
When I'm driving around the community, I maybe see one. I went, oh, normally I would give someone a call because I get on graffiti team, guys. Thanks for the extra paint. Yeah. As soon as I see something, it's out. Because, we want whoever's doing that vandalism to know, hey,
Yes.
this is a community that care. We keep it clean. And again, it's that activation.
Yeah.
And it's really everyday people leading by example. And again, this is a great way for you to get involved on this Wednesday. It was a long day in council. Well, I felt that way. But luckily, we were anticipating I was going to be late because, we had sometimes it runs really late. So I told Malia, get ready.
Oh, Augie, you've got to be on time. I don't want to be there going, all right, let's take another commercial break.
No. And then I pull in and I see Denny sitting in the truck and I never eat lunch. So I'm eating my Popeyes,
Yep.
And then I get a text my wife like, did you go to Popeyes? I've been with my wife now for 3 decades, since the 1900s, when lying was easy. I can't lie.
You can't lie about Popeyes. You're going to smell like
the
Popeyes.
other day she called up and she's like, where are you? I'm at the gym. And she's like, I never know Popeyes is at the gym now. So you gotta get creative. I leave the phone in the locker and then I go to Popeyes.
Oh, you just gave your secret away.
808-913-6450. Look at the producer. She's shaking her head. Yes, sometimes I lie to my wife. I apologize.
Just about Popeyes, right?
All right, so if you're just joining in, we have Director Laura Thielen, and from Parks, we have Denny Higa. We're talking Adopt a Park. We're talking city and county parks. And if you missed the conversation, in the last break, we talked about adopting parks. So what if people wanted to adopt a park, can we give them information on who to call or email?
Sure.
Okay.
Phone number 808-768-3034. That's my direct line. Or you can email me at dhiga, so it's Delta Hotel India Golf Alpha
And he does that a
8
lot.
at honolulu.gov.
You never really think about it. You just
And don't
kinda
forget
knew.
the number 8 because there's a lot of
There's a lot of
Higas
Higas.
at the city.
Oh,
so,
okay.
so Denny was the 8th Higa for the
Wow.
city.
All right.
We're number 8.
Yeah.
Lucky 8.
The number one guy always used to get my emails. He said, stop sending me stuff for summer finale. That's what it was.
Yeah.
He finally called me up and said, stop sending me your emails.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, I had to live with Augie for, 56 years. I get, Angie sometimes,
Oh.
at Starbucks. I'm Augo.
Oh, man.
Yogi? No, it's Augie. Augie. All right. So, before I hit you guys with the tough questions, what do you like best about being the director now for 4 years? Like Malia was saying, you came from the state, you did DLNR, and now you run in the city and county parks. What is that like? What's the best part about
The
doing
best part, well,
Yeah.
the people.
Okay.
I took the job because of the places. I'm really big into, people need space to go to and to, have access to the ocean, have access to the mountains. That's really important. But I really like the people.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can drive you a little crazy.
Sure.
But, it's just always interesting. Every day is interesting. And, I learn so much in the job. You think you know a place, but you don't know about a certain park or you don't know about a certain sport, and there's all this stuff behind it, all this history, and it's really interesting.
It is. You know what I love about when we did our committee meetings, I would have the director do briefings. I really don't have to do anything. I ask a question and then she'll answer all the rest of my question in the answer or the reply because you're so knowledgeable.
No, I'm just Irish, so we talk a lot.
What about you, Denny? What you like most about? Okay, so how long have you been with the city? Because you just started doing adopt a parks, right?
Yeah.
So how long?
17 years with the city,
Okay.
with parks. Adopt a park just shy of 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing a temp assignment. But, it's used to be the kids when I was at the park. Mm-hmm. Before that was the pool, so swimming. So you probably did a flutter kick and got DQ'd when you were doing your
Correct.
butterfly.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Bring up
No,
a sore point here.
it's-
But yeah.
Anyhow, it's the people, the staff. It's all of it.
Yeah.
It's all of it.
Malia, why do you like best about working with me? Just joking.
Well, I thought we were talking about parks.
Yeah, I know. I figured it'll get you involved. Okay. All right. So tell me some of your favorite parks. You guys know your
a hard
colleagues
question.
and your coworkers are probably listening.
Well, I got one.
Okay.
I told you on the break is Ho'omalia.
Yeah.
I love that park. It's so beautiful. It's taken care of so well, and everywhere you turn, it's an incredible view.
That's one of our 5 botanical gardens, and that's a phenomenal group. Really beautiful places.
So pretty.
Beautiful plant
And
collection.
how many people took graduation pictures up there?
Yeah.
Antique weddings, all kinds of
Sure.
pictures, right? People every kind of Instagram, social media person,
And
influencer.
It is so beautiful and amazing. If you just
is.
need a place to go walk, yeah.
Yeah, I used to take my son down there because they have that fish. They used to have a thing, fish and release or whatever.
Yeah,
Yep.
catch and release.
Catch and release,
Yeah.
but they have those scary fish in there. I don't want to catch them.
What's
They're
scary fish?
kind of scary looking.
I'm interested. What kind
What,
of
that
scary
orange
fish
one?
you talking?
No, not the orange
white one?
one, but the one that has like the whiskers.
Catfish?
Catfish, yeah.
catfish?
Yes. Oh,
Give me that.
I don't want that thing.
They
Put that
taste
back.
good, though. They taste really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the mustache.
those
fish.
things used to scare me because they kind of walk. They kind of walk on the the grass over there.
Really?
Yes, it's like a horror movie. I don't want to see that. So yes, but we did used to go down there. We did used to go down there and fish. It was really fun, and it's a beautiful place for families.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's definitely the top of my list. for
Okay,
parks.
there you go. Who wants to take a shot at this?
Ooh, like Denny said, this is like talking about your children. You cannot have favorites,
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Some of
you're
us,
looking at me.
some of us, we Filipino, we have multiple kids. So, Denny,
I love them all. I cannot. They're, I cannot.
You know, what I like doing is I like going to parks all around the island at different times of day and then taking my phone, because you can work off your phone now, and just hanging out there for a little bit and just watching how people use the park, how they come in and go and what they do. One thing I didn't know until I started doing that, a lot of our parks get used by like realtors, construction guys, landscapers. They need a bathroom.
Yes.
So they're driving around the island for work. So you sit in the park in the middle of a weekday, cars pull in, guy hops out, guy hops back in, takes off, over. And bus drivers.
It's like a
others.
rest stop,
Yeah.
really.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. You know, plus you got people using the park also
Sure.
as well. But yeah. And then like you go to someplace like parks early in the morning, you get all these early morning walkers that are out there to exercise. You go in, you got all these regulars at certain times of the day. The pickleball, I have to say, are the craziest because they will be out at noon in the hot sun.
Yeah.
But it's like we are playing, and the rest of the park is vacant because it's just a little too hot right now. Then everybody comes back out after school, evening hours, fills up again.
Yeah.
It's just really nice to watch.
You still have answered my question. Doctor, shut up.
But if I tell, then everybody's going to go. I don't want to lose my special
Yeah,
spot.
secret spot. Secret
Your
spot.
secret spot. I love it. No. You go Mexico Park, the pickleball, sometimes as I'm driving, to go and, go to Safeway, and I sometimes make my rounds. And, man, at night, you talk about activation out in Mexico. Oh, man, you get kids playing basketball. The gym is just, going off.
I love going into a park when it's active like that. One team coming off the field, another going on again, and that kind of thing. It's just a lot of activity.
Saturday and Sundays, that whole park is. That's one of the challenges because we don't have time.
I'll tell you, the challenge that always happens is you got like some developer drives by a park on a Tuesday afternoon at 1:00. Oh, this isn't being used. I bet we could build something here. This place isn't used. It's vacant. It's like, can you come back at 6 p.m.? And can you come back on the weekends? And can you come back for the festival? And we give 28,000 permits a year.
See, that's important for people.
28,000 permits.
28,000.
And this is for, there's a lot of non-permitted activities. This doesn't count like the adopt-a-park groups that are going out, or the people doing the mural, or the people just playing tennis because they don't have to make reservations, or, this is for the activities. And it could be a 4-day pickleball tournament. It could be a Samoan festival with 800 people. It could be, a 1-day family picnic of 50 people, at a park. So it's the whole gamut, but they're active.
Yeah. No, I mean, I live in a community that's growing quickly, and that's the thing. Like, people don't realize, like, unlike when we were growing up, the parks had time to heal. People complain about, there's dry grass or, dirt that's not supposed to be there. We realize that, the parks need time to heal, but now, it's year round. Activity is happening year round. And like you said, 28,000 permits.
Yeah. Yeah. And all the sports, because, back in the day, I don't think you're quite as old as me, but, you had seasons, and now it's year round. And so the competition, so we may have a field where there's 2 ball fields and the outfield is a multi-purpose field. So you're trying to do the field user group meetings and, who can have what, and everybody, it's like, okay, we're going to have the balls, and they're just going to be doing practice, and they're not going to be doing hitting, and that way we can also have the outfield used for the soccer league, and then the game will go on, and so it's 100% of the time.
I remember when we had baseball going, and in the middle of a Kalihi Valley, we had football because it was on one side of the field. And I remember same thing. I came in thinking, because I drive around and go, oh, no, maybe nobody uses the park. I remember I came in with the idea, what about affordable housing? And maybe the parks that, that not being used. Then you realize that a lot of parks are being used, and a lot of people, depend on the parks, like you said, to maybe just go for a walk, exercise, or little things that is important in everyday people's lives, and
that's where friendships are made. That's where
right.
kids grow up. My son met his best friend on a slide at one of the parks, and that's just how we are in Hawaii.
Right.
We would love to be outside, and
I've said this for the last 4 years. It's one of the few places where it's still free.
Yeah.
you can go and learn about life, which free. So, man, I know it's important to you, like it's important to me, and parks, right? We really we doing our best to take care of parks. Please understand that, because I know you probably get people out there skeptics, but we're really doing our best with the resources that we have, right, Director?
Yeah, but we gotta, we're trying to figure out ways for the city to contract and build things faster because it takes a long time. You have all these protections, so there's no waste of taxpayer money, and we don't want to waste money. So we want to meet the intent, but be able to build stuff faster and fix stuff faster. So that's the other big thing we've been working on.
So this is my 4th radio show. My first, yeah, right? Is that correct, Miss Producer Lady? And I gotta tell you, if you're gonna be our guest in the next couple of weeks, because we're gonna do this for a year now, every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, yeah.
You gotta bring gifts. Denny
Hey.
brought gifts. I got tongue. All right, so I don't have to bend over and grab rubbish. I can use a tongue. I have a shirt, Director. Look at this.
Yeah, we got talented people in the park department.
I got a bucket.
Hey.
You gotta go have to pick up trash now again.
Yeah, I got candy.
Oh, that's not from here, but that's
Keep your energy up.
Buckeyes. Hey.
Yeah, no, thank you for doing that. So, please, when you book the next couple of weeks, let them know that's one of the requirements.
Gifts.
Gifts, yeah.
Swag.
Under
Is
the
that- is
limit.
that-
Yeah, swag. I
so
like
long
that.
as it's under $25, I think.
Yep,
Is it City
yep.
Council?
Well, from us, it's government to government, so I think it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
If you are just tuning in, we're wrapping things up. We've been talking parks for the last hour. If you want to try to sneak in and call us, the number here is 808-913-6450. I know Malia has a question for the Director.
Well, no, I just wanted to say how impressed I am with the Parks Department because you manage so many things, and I don't think people realize festivals, and you have events, big events like the Ho'olauea. Is that this weekend?
Well, we have the canoe festival that's going to be out at Kualoa Ranch in March 8th, and it's also I think it's the 50th anniversary, and Hokulea is going to be there.
Wow.
We have the May Day program at Kapiolani Park, which is just beautiful. And, thanks to the Royal Hawaiian Band, they come and play at a lot of our events, which is really awesome. And Clark Bright, the head, he always comes up with custom music to match the event they've been asked to do. We handle the Kapolei City Lights for Christmas, and we help out with the Honolulu City Lights. We do the Mayor's Memorial Day at Punch Bowl. We have a lot of events, a lot of kapuna events around the island because we have kapuna clubs, and we work with other organizations. So the Valentine's Day dance, which we just had, which was a hoot. And,
No, my mom looked forward to that.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome.
That's
People
fun.
are really partying
The
up.
mayor
pretty-
came up to me and said, "Your mom has too much energy." I go, "Well, the apple
Your
don't
mom
fall-
loves to dance.
Fall from the tree." It's just she does.
Yeah.
Oh boy, just don't dance near her because her coal is so big. She might knock you over.
Oh, Augie.
Yeah, I'm just being honest, Malia. I'm just being honest.
So the tree, you also have urban forestry.
Yeah, we have some awesome people over at Urban Forestry. So they, keep the trees, maintained. They deal with the pre-storm, post-storm, emergency events, a lot of invasive species, but they're also planting trees. And, so we're trying to get more trees in parks. We just did an awesome one out in the Leeward Coast, Equity again. Maili Community Park, it's right next to a school, and it's really hot for the kids when they're coming over there for their program. So we want to shade it the same way like Kapiolani, Ala Moana, all those other places are. And so they have community forestry, community gardens, just some really awesome programs.
Yeah,
And then
but
just
2
the
years
regular-
ago, the director came into a committee to tell us, all the things that that they are overseeing in other states. It's different departments that do this, and everything in Honolulu falls mostly under parks, and the directors are overseeing. So it's a lot. And when you talk about adopting a park, Denny earlier, again, you're part of our family, right?
It is. Yep.
Okay, so let's before I know we wrapping up because the producer lady just showed me the paper. So if people wanted to adopt the park, how can they get a hold of you? Because again, your email.
Email dhiga8@honolulu.gov.
Just remember, lucky 8.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
right? That's a lot of
Higa
people's
8
lucky number.
at honolulu.gov.
All right. Hey, final thoughts, anybody? You wanna share a little bit maybe about your goals in the next 4 years, Director?
Actually, I just want to give a big mahalo to all the people that
Yes.
come out in the parks.
Yeah.
And, even whether you adopt a park, whether you get involved in an activity, or whether you just come out to the park and say, hey, thank you to a staff person who's there. We love having parks activated. Being out there is great. And just help share the place and be respectful of all the other people around you. That most of our park users are just phenomenal, phenomenal support. And if people do want to help one time or, multiple times, we will take the help any day because we need it. And you're helping us more than what you're doing. You're also helping signal to the community that parks loved. It's belonged by the community. People, like I said, people don't go home and smash their own toilet. But for some reason, people get angry at government
Yes.
and they take it out on these places.
On
And
the
the more we
parks,
can
yes.
have community ownership and activity and all that, the better off they're treated. And that's wonderful because we all need them.
Yes.
We all need these places.
Yes, and you can see Denny's been out to every single event I think I've
Try.
done the last year.
I try.
And really, really appreciate you guys doing that, going above and beyond, because it is a lot of work, and it takes a village, honestly,
Yes.
to come together.
And thank you for being a champion and recognizing the hardworking staff in the park department because
thank
they
you.
really deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Malia.
Thank
you,
you.
Denny. Thank you, Director. We'll be back. What are we talking next week?
Next week, we're going to talk about how people are working to help homeless and houseless in Hawaii, and
Okay.
also, what are some of the challenges that businesses are having and all that. But
Nice.
yeah.
All right.
What are some of the solutions? So it'll be a good show.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next Wednesday.